Samantala, pagdiriwang ng National Crime Prevention Week, ating pag-uusapan kasama si Atty. Christine S. Leones, Acting Assistant Service Director ng Crime Prevention and Coordination Service ng NAPOLCOM. Attorney, magandang tanghali po at welcome to the program.
Thank you, Asst.
Siguro para po maunawaan ng ating mga kababayan na nanonood, ano po ang legal basis ng pagdaraos ng taunang National Crime Prevention Week?
Ito po ay ang Presidential Proclamation 461 na ginawa po noong Agosto 31, 1994 ni dating President Fidel V. Ramos. So, ayon dito sa sa proclamation na to, every first week of September ay ititinalaga bilang selebrasyon ng ating National Crime Prevention Week.
Week lang pero dapat buong taon siya.
Actually, lang siya, highlight, parang
Yes.
ganon, para ma-highlight.
So, speaking of highlights, ma'am, ano po yung activities na naka-line up para sa linggong ito, September 1 to 7, tama?
Yes po.
Ay.
Actually, may shinare po ata akong flash. Pero primarily today, ideally, ang Kickoff.
Yes.
Kaso nagkaroon ng bagyo. Pero we were going to have a declaration of support from the different Metro Manila mayors on for the crime prevention plans and activities for this week and for the 2025 National Crime Prevention Program. Kasi po ang ating tema ngayong taon for the National Crime Prevention Week is empowered local governments for safer communities and strengthening CSOP crime prevention practices. So, kaya po medyo naha-highlight po ang ating mga mayor sana. So, kaya po sila yung inimbitahan po natin para pumirma sa declaration of support during our kick-off. Pero ito, na-move lang po siya. Ito na po yung aming program. So, mag-move lang po yung ating declaration of support signing this Friday. So, September 5. And then the next day po, tomorrow, we will be having a seminar at the school where we will be providing some lectures on crime prevention tips for our mga estudyante, yung mga youth, kasi isa po sila sa mga vulnerable sa crime as victims, and alam naman po natin na meron din po ngayong mga issues on decreasing the age of criminal responsibility at matugunan po natin yun, at mahadlangan kung ano po yung mga baka pwedeng gawing hakbang para mahadlangan nga po ang pagpunta sa krimen ng ating mga kabataan. And then sa Wednesday po, medyo madami-dami. So Wednesday, may mangyayari po tayo sa umaga na community-based policing in Asia na webinar. Kalahok po natin dito ay ang mga taga-Japan, Malaysia at iba pa pong mga bansa sa rehiyon. Kasama na rin po syempre ang ating Philippine National Police to showcase their different strategies in community-based policing. This is in the morning. It will also be broadcast, live stream po sa aming Facebook page, NAPOLCOM Facebook page.
So, available siya sa public?
It will be available to the public, opo. Although ang primary face-to-face, I think, or Zoom na audience niya are our regional office directors from all over the country and our police. But magiging pong available po siya sa general public. And then that afternoon, speaking of media, meron po kasing bagong PNP rule on media relations, safety of journalists, freedom of expression, and access to information. Alam naman po natin ngayon na malaki po ang role ng ating media and journalists po sa pag-i-ensure ng transparency and accountability sa ating gobyerno. At nire-recognize po ng National Police Commission at ng Philippine National Police yung ganito pong role ng media, at gusto naming mapaigting ang relasyon ng komisyon at ng kapulisan sa ating mga journalists at maprotektahan sila sa mga panahon, sa mga siguro yung mga difficult circumstances, kung kunyari may hostage taking or may mga protests, but at the same time giving them some space to also do their job. Mahalaga po itong rule na ito. Kasama po dito ang pag-prohibit sa red tagging at pagbibigay ng guidelines sa kung paano kino-cover po yung mga sensitibong balita gaya ng gender-based violence. So ito po, gagkakaroon po kami ng orientation for Philippine National Police Public Information Officers and some media practitioners. Kasi yung pag-develop po nitong rule na ito, in consultation po with media practitioners po, inquirer, journalists, we also had, I think PTV din, no? I think, or PIA. We consulted the PIA and then syempre the police and yung mga mag-implement at mag-apply po ng rule. And then Thursday, sa Thursday na.
Isingit ko lang, ma'am.
Sige, ma'am.
Napakaganda nung initiative na ito kasi nung August 30 Saturday was National Press Freedom Day.
Oh, yeah.
So every year ginugunita yan. And recently PCO conducted a conference about, kasi nabanggit nyo na yung media security,
Yes.
and then giving the journalists space to do their jobs na wala pong banta sa kanilang seguridad. So napakaganda po ng initiative. So we go to Thursday.
Actually, opo, kasi I think ang Pilipinas yung isa sa mga pinaka-dangerous places to be a journalist, no po. Kaya talaga pong tinugunan po natin ang ito pong issue na to para ma-prevent ang any untoward incidences at maprotektahan ang ating kalayaan na magpahayag at expression. So on Thursday, meron naman po tayong research colloquium on, madami po kasi na mga nagpupulis ay graduates po ng ating mga criminology schools, ano po. So para po to improve and coordinate and collaborate with our criminology and other academic institutions, we are featuring some of the studies that these students from these criminology schools from around the Philippines, from Mountain Province, we have some from General Santos, on their thesis on various crime and criminology topics such as, for example, their study on predisposing factors for cybercrime, which is one of the studies that will be presented by the Holy Trinity College of General Santos. We also have peacekeeping cultural mechanisms of the Kankanaey in the Mountain Province, which will be presented by representatives of the Mountain Province State University. And yung mga ganun po na ano po ba yung mga pag-aaral natin na maaari baka magamit natin sa ating evidence-based policy making in administering and overseeing the Philippine National Police and law enforcement in general. So, and lastly, on Friday, yung declaration of support with mayors, yung signing po, so dun po siya naka-reschedule. But at the same time, meron po kaming community and service-oriented policing parang recognition and documentation of yung mga efforts po ng ating local government, yung local chief executive sa pag-initiate ng community service-oriented police, community and service-oriented policing activities to prevent crime in their areas in partnership with police and various sectors of the community. So, abangan nyo din po kasi ifa-flash din po yun, i-share din po namin siya sa ating website, sa ating Facebook account, magla-livestream din po kami or i-share po namin yung recording, actually along with the orientation on media, the rule on media relations.
Balikan ko lang yung theme, ma'am, medyo mahaba siya, hindi ko nasulat ng maayos, pero you are re-emphasizing the role of the LGU and the community in preventing crime. So, sa ngayon kasi, di ba, parang pinaiigting natin yung pagbabalik o panunumbalik ng tiwala sa mga pulis, pero ano po yung role talaga ng komunidad in preventing crime?
Malaki po. Kasabay ng kaakibat ng local government, sila po yung sana nagtutulungan kasama ng kapulisan sa pag-identify ng mga problema na maaaring makakapagdulot ng kondisyon kung kaya nagiging desperado ang mga tao para mag-commit ng crime or nakaka-identify ng mga opportunities. For example, madilim sa ganitong kalsada, dito madalas nagkakaroon ng nakawan or an example of one of our community and service-oriented policing programs no po is there is a community, for example, where there is high incidence of incest rape. Based on community and academic, actually, partnership with the local government and the police, no, they noticed that most of the cases were in impoverished households na isa lang talaga yung room for all the family members and the children and the girl child. So one of the interventions that the local government and in partnership with the police, of course, and the community made was to identify vulnerable families and build a separate room for their girl children to ensure yung may privacy siya, may security, and actually also this extended to communities wherein yung public lang ang bathrooms kasi doon din napansin ng community through a shared consultative problem-solving and planning process na itong mga public bathrooms kung saan mas may chances of yung unattended yung batang babae or so nagkakaroon ng opportunities for abuse, nahahadlangan kasi gumagawa na sila ng yung project is magde-develop ng mga private facilities for bathrooms and comfort rooms. So yung pag-identify ng problema, pagrereklamo, pakikialam, at pakikipag-ugnayan sa lokal na gobyerno at sa kapulisan, isa pong matindi at importante na role po ng ating komunidad ang bawat mamamayan sa paghadlang sa krimen at pagtulong sa pag-enforce ng batas.
Mahalaga yung sinabi nyo, dinugtungan nyo, attorney, na makialam pero makipag-ugnayan after. Kasi yung iba nangingialam lang, but they stop there.
Yun lang. Sa mga tamang mga proseso at paraan. Kaya po nag-share nga din po kami ng mga reporting information kung saan kayo pwedeng makipag-ugnayan at dumulog para maghanap ng tamang tulong at proseso sa pag-address po ng mga problema. Pero importante rin pong makialam. Actually, di ba usually sinasabi, away pamilya lang yan, huwag kayong pero importante din nga pong
kasi
makialam.
Kasi doon napapansin kung ano talaga yung root ng problema.
Opo.
Balikan natin yung celebration this week, ma'am. So, bukod po sa NAPOLCOM, bukod po sa PNP, ano pa po yung mga ahensyang tumutulong to make this week's celebration happen?
Actually, sir, yung nag-guest nyo kanina, isa po yun sa member ng aming Technical Committee on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, and member din po siya actually nung tumutulong sa aming pag-develop ng crime prevention program, and ito pong National Crime Prevention Week activities, no po, I think it was the National Commission of Senior Citizens. Yes, So, they're one of our government partners. So, the various criminal justice pillars are represented in the Technical Committee on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, which develops the crime prevention program every year together with the NAPOLCOM. And they are made up of representatives from the Ombudsman, from the Ulat Bayan, from DOJ, from the Bureau of Corrections, from the Pardons and Parole Administration, from the we have representatives also from the PNP, of course, yung ating Directorate for Investigation, our Police Community Relations, our Anti-Cybercrime Group, also the DICT and their investigation arm. And then we have PDEA, and we also have the DepEd, DSWD, so whole of government po. But at the same time, meron din po tayong representatives from the community sector. Kasi nga po, di ba, gusto natin iinganyo po ang komunidad, ang mga bawat mamamayan na makihalahok sa paghadlang sa krimen. So kasama po natin ang Foundation for Crime Prevention, Crusade Against Violence, League of Cities of the Philippines, so yung mga mayors po natin and local governments. This year we have Women and Gender Institute of Miriam College. We also have the Institute for Governance and Law Reform of the UP Law, and yun nga po yung ating senior citizens and the like po. So
maganda
sila po
yung nabanggit nyo na may representation yung senior citizens kasi sila'y madalas na bubudol, whether yung traditional budol or ngayon, since we're living in a digital age, yung mga cybercrime. So, ano naman yung sinasabi o tinatawag, attorney, na triad of crime?
Ito po yung yung tatlong elemento, no po, na parte ng pagde-develop, yung inaalam natin na factors in relation to developing crime prevention strategies. So these are the factors that promote crime, such as what is the motivation of someone to commit a crime? Kahirapan ba ito? Kawalan ba ng options? Or baka nagkaroon ng opportunity? Ito lang ba ang naisip niya na paraan? Or at ito nagkaroon ng pagkakataon? Or is it dahil meron siya talagang makukuhang reward na hindi niya talaga makukuha else otherwise, no? So yung triad of opportunity, the motivation and the reward. So ang pag-develop natin ng strategies ngayon is to determine how to prevent those motivations. So kung kahirapan, is it to provide better livelihood or access to government services? Kaya community and service-oriented policing ang approach natin. Is it opportunity? So that's why we need intelligence from the community na what else services do we need to address to ensure safety in our communities? And yung, for example, like anti-money laundering or partnership, yung how do we prevent criminals from getting the reward that they get from committing their crimes? So yun po yung parang part siya po ng pag-formulate ng mga programa at strategies for crime prevention.
Parang kailangan ng isa pang episode para lang i-discuss itong triad of crime kasi dito natin mauunawaan kung bakit siguro nangyayari yung mga krimen at kung bakit recurring siya. Pero balik muna tayo ulit sa celebration this week. Mensahe nyo na lamang po sa ating mga kababayan na nanonood at nakaabang po dun sa mga sinabi nyong mga symposium, mga seminar at po yung iba pang activities lined up for this week.
Sana po ay makilahok po tayo sa aming mga activities. Kung hindi po kayo makapag-attend mismo sa aming mga ceremonies or celebrations, kahit sumama lang po kayo, manood lang po kayo sa aming website, sa aming Facebook page na magla-livestream po ng aming mga webinars, ng aming mga orientation on the rule on media, on the new rule on media relations, and ang ating closing ceremonies. But beyond that, no po, kasi nga gaya ng nabanggit ni Asset kanina, ang crime prevention ay hindi lang sineselebrate at pinapractice sa isang linggo, buong taon po ito. Kaya isa pong very easy and very simple na pwede pong gawin ng bawat mamamayan to help us celebrate the National Crime Prevention Week is maging maalam, kunyari sa mga posibleng mga krimen na nangyayari sa inyong kapaligiran or ang mga ibang tao or biktima sa inyo na maaring nagiging biktima ng krimen, at makialam. Tayo ay mag-report. So I think may mga shinare din po akong mga mag-report po tayo sa mga kinauukulan at magbigay po tulungan po natin sila makakuha ng impormasyon, ng ebidensya at mga intelligence basically para rin magawa nila yung trabaho nila ng maigi dahil kayo po yung nasa komunidad, kayo po yung nakakakita ng lahat, at kung sa tulong nyo, mayroon po tayong mapipigilan na krimen, corruption man yan, abuso man yan, scam man yan. So, makipag-ugnayan lang po tayo, makialam. So,
ayan.
Maraming salamat.
Yun ang operative word today, makialam pero makipag-ugnayan din sa otoridad. Huwag lang makialam. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Atty. Christine S. Leones, Acting Assistant Service Director ng CPCS ng National Police Commission. Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.